Welcome to the Real of Real Estate.
Real estate investing.
I'm Priscilla.
This is Fernando. It's been a while.
How you doing, Fernando?
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Why are you so relaxed?
We just got back from another mini vacation, 10 days. We went to Puerto Rico to visit family and enjoy beautiful San Juan.
Yes. So that's some of the beautiful things that this business allows you to do. Take off a week in the middle of the month.
We were going only for 6 days, and we decided to extend for an extra 4 since we didn't have anything pending, correct?
Yeah, so why not?
Exactly. So, all right, the subject of today, we want to provide a little bit of content and also a mini case study. We're not going to go into too many details, but basically, we're going to be talking about the differences between a lease option and owner financing.
A lease option, what's that?
What's the lease option?
What's
All right.
a lease option?
So like the word says, it's a lease where you're renting a house, you're providing a rental, and the option to purchase. So two separate documents. The tenants have the option, no obligation to purchase the property in the near future, right? So it can be 1, 2, 3 years, whatever you want to provide them, right? Now, they're just tenants and they just purchase the option. So if they fail to fulfill their obligations, they lose the option to buy the property, right? So an owner financing is different because you're financing the property. You're like the bank, you're providing financing. They have ownership rights. The term can be longer. You can amortize it over 5, 10, 30, 40 years, whatever you want. Or you can just charge them interest only. They have ownership rights. They can apply for homestead exemption, right, to save on taxes. And basically they can do whatever they want. They can pull permits. They can remodel the house. Whatever they want to do. It's their house because you're financing it to them.
So they are the official owners.
They're the official owners, okay. And you have an interest in the property as like a mortgage, right? So if they fail to pay you the mortgage, you can just foreclose or do and make another arrangements with them. So it's very hard. It's very easy to get them confused, right? A lot of gurus out there, they tell you, oh, I sold this house on a lease option. You're not selling the house. You're optioning the house. And they call the tenants, they call them tenant buyers. They're not buyers, they're optionees. That's the correct term. So you gotta be careful when you speak, when you talk to these people, and try not to use these terms like buyer because they're not buyers. They will become a buyer if they exercise the option. So I know they say it because it's easy to understand. Oh, the tenant buyer. But when it comes to legalities, they're not. So be careful with your choice of words.
The words you use. They also, when it's a lease option, they're giving you an option fee. So they're paying for an option to purchase the house in the near future. It's not a down payment until they exercise the option and they get a mortgage on the house. Then it's applied as a down payment. But the initial option fee you received, do not use the term down payment.
Yes, so that's also another term that you need to be careful. Mm-hmm. So there are other differences, but those are the main ones. Now, because this is the real estate investing,
we're gonna get raw and real with you.
Yes, so we'll have a case study where we did a lease option with a family, a couple, and just to give you round numbers, it was for around 165,000. Mm-hmm. They gave us 10,000 as a non-refundable option fee, which means you don't have to hold it in escrow. It's just a fee. You can put it in your pocket. You can go to vacation, Puerto Rico, right? We pre-screened them with a mortgage broker and we gave them 30 months so they can work on their credit and they can qualify for a mortgage and exercise their option to purchase the property. So everybody does it a little bit different. We also provide the option to extend the term. So basically, if in 30 months, in this case, they couldn't qualify for any reasons, they can pay an extension fee and they can buy an extra 12 months. So they're extending their option agreement. So who will do that, right? Well, if you're working really hard to fix the property, fix your credit, and for some reason life happens, you have some drawbacks, you lose a job, you reapply to a different, you're in a different sector, different career, right? Then what if you owe taxes to the IRS? Whatever the reason is, you need more time. So instead of losing everything, we provide an option to extend it. And especially in an appreciating market, that's great for tenants optionees, right? Because if the market is going up and you put a fixed price on the property, it works in their favor.
Why? What do they have to keep?
The equity.
They have to keep the equity in the house.
Yeah. So in this case, we were in an appreciating market. They got more than enough time because the mortgage brokers told us 24 months, and we always provide an extra 6 months, right? Well, it looks like 30 months were not enough, so they decided to extend it. So they pay a fee and they bought themselves an extra 12 months. So what happened at the end of the 12 months? They failed to do what they needed to do, and because we offer owner financing in some properties, and we told them that we might consider offering them owner financing, we didn't sign a contract, we didn't have any binding agreement. We just told them possibly, right? Because we talk by email and text that yes, we will possibly do it. Now they wanted to force us to provide owner finance. So the only contract, only signed, notarized agreement was the lease with the option to buy. There was no purchase and sales agreement signed. There was nothing in writing saying that we are going to finance the house. So just to buy themselves some time, because they invested some money fixing the property, they put an option fee, they pay for an extension. We were the bad guys, right? So they were the victims. And
get used to it, guys,
yes.
Especially if you're going to be landlords and you're going to do lease options. We are 90% of the time the bad guys.
Yeah.
And you have to grow thick skin to deal with this stuff in this business. When we first started, I felt so bad because I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. But because we're the landlord, we're just automatically the bad guys. So it's part of the game.
What happened at the end of the 30 plus 12, the 42 months? 42 months. What happened?
30 plus 12. So that at the end, when
we told them no.
The extension expired. They asked for owner financing.
They asked like a month before. You have to owner finance it. We said no, we're not doing it.
So we told them no, and
what happened?
What happened? So, as they say, if you play this game long enough, you're bound to get sued. Sooner or later, you're going to get sued. So we got sued for the first time, guys. Yeah.
So that means we're doing something right.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they sue us. They hire this attorney.
And we get served with paperwork.
He took the case, even though he didn't have anything to win it, right? I'm not an attorney, but when we hire our attorney to defend ourselves, he was telling us contract law, blah blah blah. You can't just sue somebody for something in the air. You have to have a written agreement in order to be sued, because that's called how do you call it?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I like real estate.
Fail to specific performance, something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, their attorney took the case, just in my opinion, to make some money.
Well,
basically,
we don't know.
Anyways, they bought themselves some time. Now, we didn't actually go to a judge
or the court
or
a jury or anything.
but the process, the court system is like total, right? Slow. So it took like a year and a half. They kept paying rent, which is great.
But which was really, here I go, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. Rent was really, really, really at least $500, if not $600 below market rent. So the rents down here back to 42 months ago, where we initially started, right? And my taxes and my insurance are going up every year.
Yeah.
And our lawyer who we hired, who's very good, awesome, he says you can't raise rent. And here I go.
No, it's not that we couldn't. He advised us not to raise it.
He advised us not to raise rent. Fine, we don't raise rent. So now they are paying this market rent when it's supposed to be this market rent. Yeah. And we're in court, going back and forth like a little ping pong ball. And who's getting paid every month? The lawyers.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the key lessons that we learn in this situation, is that attorneys, and they never lose because they charge by their time. It's very rare to find an attorney that you don't know how long it's going to take the case, and they charge you a flat fee. They're not going to do it because they don't know. They don't know.
It's up in there.
And they can extend it. They have their ways, go back and forth. So anyways.
Okay, so we went back and forth for approximately 18 months.
Yes.
Right? Back and forth. Until finally we get a mediation date.
Yes.
Which is fabulous. Okay, there's something. There's light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah. So if we rerun the numbers, like 42 months later, the house, we optioned it. The option price was for $165.
The initial
option price. Now the market's going
appreciated
up.
Yeah.
So we thought, we didn't do a real appraisal or anything.
No, the lawyer, in the middle of mediation, the lawyer says, get me a number that you think it's worth. So we ran some quick numbers, and we thought 300. It was worth 300. Let's just 300.
That's what Zillow said, and usually Zillow is
pretty
low.
on point.
Yeah, no, low. Zillow is lower than the actual number.
Okay.
Yes. But anyway, so we told the attorney, look, we want, if we get this house back, we can put it on the market for 300. But since they already pay 10 plus the extension fee, we wanted to discount 20%, 10% of the sale, whatever. So it's at 260. So we started at 260. That's our new number. And the mediator is really good. He's playing neutral. He's a retired attorney. He knows both sides. So he was going back and forth. And he told me something that really made me think, because he asked my attorney in front of me. He said, let's just call him John. John, how much do you think it's going to take to win this case if we take it all the way to the end? We go to the court, we go to the judge, witnesses, blah, 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 blah. And he said probably $40,000 to $60,000 was going to cost us, right? Of course, if we win, then we can sue them for a refund of attorney's fees, which you never know if you're gonna get back.
Or how long it's going to take.
Yeah, so he said, okay. And so the mediator says, okay, John, can you reassure Fernando and Priscilla that you're going to win this case 100%? No, he said, I can never reassure that because it's up to the judge. I can put a good case, I can defend. The law, I know 100% the law is on our side, that we didn't do anything wrong. The law is protecting us. But when it comes to a judge and witnesses and a jury, anything can happen. Okay, so you cannot, so it's 40 to 60,000. You cannot guarantee that they're gonna win. Now, can you guarantee that they're gonna owe you those 40 to 60,000? Well, yes, of course. He says, that's my fee. I work on the case, so I deserve to get paid. So the mediator says to me, well, you have to make a business decision, because if you take this all the way to the end, one thing for sure, it's gonna be a lot of time invested and made and wasted in this case. Number two, the aggravation, right? You're going through emotions, stress.
You still have expenses, like the taxes still keep going up, the insurance is still going up. Can you tell that bothers me?
And then he says, you're gonna have to come up with that bill, that money to pay your attorney for the 60.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I'm gonna go talk to the other side.
So we're processing it, right?
And I said, look, in my mind, if he would have said, I'm gonna charge you a flat fee of 30 grand, and I'm thinking we can sell it for 300 minus the 30, we're at 270. Yes, let's take it all the way to the end. Because honestly, we believe and we felt that we didn't do anything wrong, right? We provided a legit option, we helped them out, and they failed to do their part, and they wanted to blame us, right, for their situation. They wanted to make us owner finance the house when there was no document that obligated us to do that. But anyway, so we went back and forth. We said, we threw a number, 260, they threw another number, blah, 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 blah. We settled at 225, right? So it was more for us than the initial amount. It was less for them than what the property was worth.
Valued at.
And then we will take care of our attorney's fees. By then, we were probably at 10 to 15,000. I don't know yet exactly. So what happened? He said, this was the agreement that our attorney, who was a bulldog, really good, he said, okay, we settle at this amount, we're gonna sign an agreement now. Mediation took us 4 hours. We were at Disney.
On vacation.
So, but you cannot leave this mediation without signing an agreement.
No, I think it took more like 6 hours.
Okay, anyway, so.
It was long.
It was the agreement. We settled at 225, but we will not finance the property. They'll have to bring their own financing, and they have 90 days.
And they had to dismiss the case without prejudice.
Dismiss the case that they were suing us. So dismiss the case, 90 days to close on the property, bring their own financing, and if in 90 days they don't bring it, they have to just surrender the property and keep paying rent. So perfect. So you know what? That's it. We're ready to move on. If they buy it, good for them. If they don't buy it, good for us. So what happened? 40 days later, we received a call from a realtor saying, we want some rental verification for this tenant. I said, that sounded weird. Why? So I asked the tenant, hey, are you renting this property? And she said, yes, we decided not to buy the property. Why? I So in my mind, they got what they wanted, right? They wanted to buy this property and blah 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 blah. Well, because we changed our minds. Something
She
weird.
said it needed too much work.
Mm-hmm.
She said that they were approved, but they decided not to buy it because it needed too much work.
Yeah.
Some excuse like that. And
So
our mind is like, what? Like, after you fought for this and you
Yeah.
have so much equity in it based on the price that
Yeah.
we agreed to, now you're just walking away from it.
Yeah.
Fine. Like, okay.
Sure.
We were honest on the rental
Lease option.
no, on the when they called the new property management company. We
Yeah.
were honest with them.
Yeah.
And they got approved.
And they move out.
And they moved out.
And guess what? They returned the property to us without the kitchen and the bathroom.
They ripped out the cabinets.
Took the cabinets.
They ripped out the bathroom.
Just to destroy the bathroom. And you know what? We're true believers that you reap what you sow. We didn't call the police. We didn't press charges. We just, you know what? If that's gonna make you feel better, eat your own poison. You know, basically, there's a saying you can eat your own poison. We're not gonna let it affect us. So
no, we just honestly, God bless you. We just sent them a blessing. God bless you. This chapter is closed. Let's move on and move forward, right?
Yeah.
So
what happened? I have to
say something. This is my parentheses. I had a bad feeling about this tenant, right? From day one. Guys, trust your instinct, right? I was like, the good side of me that wants to believe in people and wants to help people. I was like, no, they've been on our email list for years. I've shown them property after property. They finally found the one. But my instinct was like, these people are going to be a headache.
And they were a headache.
And they were a headache from day one.
3.5 years.
So follow your gut, follow your instinct, because sometimes I believe that's straight from God. God's talking to you and saying, hey, I'm sending you a message here, and we made the wrong choice, right, on that one. But we learned, and it was a whole learning experience. We got the property back and rolled up our sleeves like we're used to doing and fixed it up and moved on, right?
Yep.
So now the beautiful part of all of this is that now the property is rented.
We fix it up really beautiful.
Beautiful property. Instead
of just selling it or lease option it again, we just rented it to a nice, beautiful
family. Beautiful family.
So they get to enjoy a nice home, remodel, right? And it's a good investment for us. So let's go back to the numbers, right? We thought it was worth
315,
based
right?
on super fast comps we saw on Zillow. So I go to the house and I see the house across from this one listed. I go check. It's listed for 375. And you know what? It's a comp.
Exactly.
Same square footage, same year.
Pool.
A pool. And it has some differences like a pool enclosure. We don't have a pool enclosure. And so, you know what? 375. And we just checked the property is sold for 385. So I guess we were rewarded, in a way. So
they say you do good, you get good. So that's one of the lessons that we always like to tell people is always be transparent, always be honest. So when we bring people into our lease option program, we want them to be successful in home ownership, right? But we can only do half of the work. We provide the house, we even contact them with a mortgage broker. We give them the path. Now, whether they follow it or not, that's on them.
You can take the horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink, right?
Right. So
that's it. That's the real case study. And that house is rented right now. Beautiful couple, good feelings.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we wanted to keep it real, and that's our little case study. And then the differences between a lease option and owner financing. Follow your gut.
And always be transparent.
And if you stick long enough in this business, remember, you're gonna get sued. It's not the end of the world, as long as you did everything right, or your intention was
honest.
All right, guys. So thank you so much. Hope
Thanks
you
for
enjoyed this
watching.
episode. And any questions, let us know.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye.